All right, everyone. Very good morning, very good evening. Welcome to my channel. This is Mallikarjun here. Here I'm doing this video based upon many requests from you guys. I'm gonna try to demonstrate today where how you're gonna do that restore or how you're gonna do that RMAN clone or RMAN duplicate, RMAN, you know, restore of your file system standalone database to a RAC database. That's the demonstration. I'm gonna do it today in this particular session. If you're new to my channel, I request you to go back to YouTube, search for Malik034, and then please do subscribe my channel and share with your friends and colleagues. Right. With that, let's get started with the live demonstration on our lab. Right. So I have a lab setup ready here. One is standalone, and two are like your rack setup. Probably make it a red color. My rack setup. This is my two-node rack setup. The today demonstration is going to be very simple. Let's quickly get the paint box here. Right. You have a standalone database here. This is your Oracle lab one where your DevDB is running here. So let's make it as a DevDB. Right. And then you have a rack setup here. Where is that? Give me a second here. So node one, node two. This is your two node rack setup. And your plus ASM1 and plus ASM2 is running over here. You want to clone this standalone database, and this is a file system. It's a local storage file system, and you want to clone this database from standalone to rack. So that's the motto what we're going to do today. That's a ask what we're going to demonstrate today. So on my lab one, which is my standalone file system, I can quickly, this is the lab one where my DevDB database is running. Quickly validate that environment details. ps-f grep smon. My DevDB is running here. TestDB is running here. Let's take that DevDB database. So .env, I'll set the environment. I'll connect to my DevDB database. Right? Connect back to your database SQL plus SSDBA. Select name from VDLR data file. All the data files are under file system. Use your own app, Oracle, Data, DevDB data files. Your system, sysocs, undo users, all the files under your file system. That's fair enough. Select name from VDLR control file. Right, all the control file 1, control file 2, 0102. It's a multiplex control file. Again, they are in file system. Select member from VDLR log file. All the log groups, you have a log group 1, 2, 3, all the log groups are all coming from your file system again. Fair enough. Show parameter SP file. Your SP file again, Oracle home, 19C Oracle home, DBS location, SP file devdb.ora. Again, SP file is coming from your file system. Fair enough. Right. I'm quickly take this particular database backup. I'll transfer it to my rack system here. This is a two-node rack system. So you can quickly validate that rack system here. I have my ASM1 running under this node 1, and same command you can run it on the second node. So again, ASM2 running under node 2, and you can quickly set your .env plus ASM1 and simply type your plus ASM1, set the ASM home, and you can simply type OLS nodes. That's going to tell you how many rack node it is. This is a two node rack node. ASM1 is running on node 1, ASM2 is running on node 2. Fair enough. So let's see what are the steps here. For that, I have my blog here. I already posted that one. Standalone file system to rack cloning. These are your 4 steps. Prechecks. Take a source database backup and copy it to a target server. And method 1, method 2. Method 1 is restore recover scenario. Method 2 is your RMAN clone scenario. And some of the post checks. Right. This is your backup script. Connect your RMAN source side. That is my file system database here. I'm going to connect RMAN target slash. That's going to connect to my DevDB database. And I'm going to run this run block and allocate the channels. Take a full database backup, archive log backup, your current control file, SP file, and release the channel. So this is your RMAN script. I'm going to run it on the source side. Right, it allocates the channel sequence number 1, 2, 3, 4 up to 8, sequence number 8. it has backed up archeologs, and later it has started backing up my data files here, right? And after that, it started backing up your again archeologs, your current control file, current SP file, and your SP file and control file are to backup here, right? Your backups are ready, and connect back to your database, and you can check for your DB ID of your database. So I can quickly run this command here. Select DB ID open mode from Vidara database. On the source side, DB, this is my DB ID, which is in read write mode. Fair enough. So now I'm gonna go to my backup location where I have taken a backup. User on backup is my backup location. So these are my backup files. I'm gonna copy all of them to my target only on node one. So my node one, where I'm gonna copy all of that backup. Host name hyphen I. I'm gonna get the IP address of that. I'm gonna copy that one. SCP star Oracle at the rate my node one RAC cluster node one. I'm gonna copy over there. Right, all the files are getting copied. Let's go back to node one ls-ltr. Right, all the backups have started coming here. ls-ltr. So archelog backup, control file backup, full database backup, and copy is done. Right, you have archelog backup, control file backup, full database backup, and SP file backup. Everything is available on the target RAC cluster node one. And here I have two disk groups. Grep SMON. If I want to connect to my ASM, I'll connect to my ASM using SQL plus or ASM CMD. I'll set the environment to plus ASM, ENV, pipeline grep capital Vora. So ASM1, okay, Oracle home is not set. Let's set it back. Plus ASM1, and my ASM home is this one. ENV, pipeline grep capital Vora. So my ASM1, instance one, my grid home, everything is set. ASM CMD-P, ASM CMD-P, LSDG. I have my data, LSDG. Right, I have my data and record, two disk groups I have it inside my ASM. So we're going to restore my normal file system database, that's a DevDB database, into this disk group. Right, let's exit now. Go back to my blog here. Right, so first method, I'm going to use restore recover method. So for that, I'm going to use my dummy init file. And this is my dummy init file, which is available on the target side. And this dummy init file looks like this. If I do cat of that here on the target side. Right, so this is my dummy init file. So DB name is DevDB, unique name is DevDB, cluster database equal to false, audit file list, and DB create file, data file will go to data disk group, and my online log one, log two, multiplex redo log and control file, one will go under data, one will go under reco. And very important parameter is DB file name convert. Whatever the files, user one app, Oracle data, Vora data, DevDB data file will go into my data disk group, DevDB location. Whatever the log files from user one app, Vora data, online log will go to data DevDB, and one from fast recovery area, DevDB, online log will go to my record disk group. So whatever from Vora data will go to data, whatever from fast recovery area will go to my reco. So these are very, very two important parameters you need to set it for your cloning. So control file, one on data disk group, control 01, one on record disk group, control 02. Your recovery file destination size 88 GB, recovery file destination is reco, and archive log destination is nothing but your FRA. So this is your simple P file, dummy P file. We're going to use it for restore and recover, right? So I'm going to connect to my, set the environment to devdb dot .env .env devdb, and my Oracle home is 19C Oracle home, right? Env pipeline capital Vora. So devdb and Oracle home, everything is set, right? Let's go further here. So once you validate your P file and once you validate your environment here and connect to your database, I'll connect over here. And after that, I'm going to start my database in no mount using the dummy P file. Right. Once I start my database here, done. I'm going to connect to RMAN target. I'm going to do that restore control file from that backup control file. Right, done, exit, RMAN target slash, sorry, typo here. Go into U01 backup location, LL. These are your backup location here, and RMAN target slash connect to that. And now I'm gonna restore control file from that backup location. Restore control file user backup. My control file name is this one. Go ahead and run that one. We're going to restore two control file, one on data and one on reco. Data, reco. One is control01, control02. Two control files are restored as per my dummy p file, whatever I mentioned, right? And now I'm going to do alter database mount. Right. So alter database mount is done. I'm going to do catalog my backup pieces. I'm going to register all the backup pieces with my control file, whatever we restored here. Yes, the cataloging is done. And after that, my direct command, restore database, recover database. Right. All the data files, system, sysocs, undo users, all the data files are getting restored into my data disk group. This is a wrong naming convention here. Restoring data file 0001 to U01 app Oracle, which is not restoring into your file system. It is actually restoring into your ASM disk group. And it is requesting for sequence number 10, but it is not there in our RMAN backup. If you see my backup here, the last sequence number it has backed up is sequence number 9. So my restore recover command is looking for sequence number 10, which is not available. This is ignorable error message. Right. After restore recover is done, you're going to open your database with the reset logs. Database open reset log. Done. So after that, you're going to check your file name from DB underscore data underscore files. We'll see your actual data files are restored into your data disk groups. Right, your data, your system, sysocs, user, undo all the data files from the file system restore to your ASM disk groups. Fair enough. Right, that is your, again, check your DB name and DB ID. That will be matching with your source. Your DB name, DB, DB ID ending with 224, read write mode. Your source database side also, DB name, DB, DB ID is 224, read write. Because we use restore and recover method, it's going to carry forward your DB ID, DB name from the source to target here. Fair enough. Let's go to second method. That is your RMAN duplicate, RMAN cloning method. So for that, I'm going to use this dummy p file here. Exit from here, cat. So this is your dummy p file for your restoring DevDB as a test DB. I'm going to use restore my DevDB as a test DB. Source is DevDB, target I'm doing it as a test DB. DB name, DB nickname pointing to test DB. Cluster database is false. Audit file list, and your DB create file list is data. Online log1, log2, data and record. And again, very important, these two parameters, DB file name convert, log file name convert. So what I'm doing here, use your own app, Vara data, DevDB, all the data file go to data, test DB. Same thing for your log files. Vara data, DevDB data file go into data, test DB, and fast recovery area, DevDB online log file go into your reco and test DB. That's the only differences here, right? DevDB, I'm restoring it as a test DB. Whatever the file system data files go into my data and record disk group. Right, my control files, control1, control2, going into data and record, remaining all are remain same. Right, go back to my blog here. This is blog. You can refer this particular blog here. Right, now I'm going to set the environment to my testdb dot .env, and I'm going to do testdb. My Oracle home is this one. Right, go back here, connect your SQL Plus command line. Right, after that, you're going to do startup no mount using that p file. Init testdb.ora, that's a p file. So now I'm going to connect RMAN as an auxiliary, not RMAN target, because we're restoring DevDB as a testDB. So that I need to connect as an auxiliary here instead of RMAN target. Right, exit from here, connect RMAN auxiliary slash connected. Now command is simple: duplicate target database to test DB, backup location, user on backup, no file name check. Don't validate my file location, directly start with the restore. Right. So we're gonna do the same process: restore, recover, and catalog your data files, catalog your backup pieces, and everything. Let's go on this one. And after that, once the restore, recover, RMAN duplicate is done here, and recreate the control file. These are the log files you can refer from my blog as well here. You can go here. This is the blog. If I open it in a new tab here, so this is the URL for that. You can refer this on. Everything is captured over here. Standalone file system to RAC. Great. So where we're now. So the clone, when the clone got completed here, let's go back here. Okay, still going on. That RMAN duplicate or RMAN cloning still going on here. Once the clone is completed, you can go ahead and check your file name from DB and data file. Everything will be restored to your data disk group. Right, going on now. Your instance is started here. Right, it has restored your control file here. Data, reco, test DB, control one, control two. After that, it has restoring your data, your all the data files into data disk group using this full backup. Right. So the restore database is went fine, and recovering your archive logs. It has already restored your archive logs here. Archive log 9 already restored. That's the last archive log sequence we have it in our backup. The finished recovery finished. And now we're gonna uh, recreate your control file. You're gonna recreate your control file here now. Recreate your control file as for your target database. Right, it's your recreating your control file. So control file restore is done, and alter database open reset logs. Right, so let it complete. Right, done. Restore is done. Open your database and now check your data file location. So your data files are moved into your data disk group. From the file system, you moved into your ASM storage. That's fair enough. And now exit and connect back SQL plus slash s DBA and run your DBID DB name. Your test DB, DBID, and your open mode. So your database is all got open now. Right. So now your final step, the post steps. The post steps are nothing but what I'm going to do. If you want to move your dummy P file, whatever that a P file you created, these are your dummy P file you created for cloning, right? So if you want to move these two files for your restore, feature restore, devdb and testdb, you can move it as a gold copy. You can move it as a gold copy here, testdb. So your devdb database, you can take a copy of them because that's going to help you for future clones. Right now, this is the command here. Copy that your. I'm going to show it for one database, whatever the devdb we restored it. I'll show it for that post step for the devdb. The steps remain same for your testdb as well. So I'm going to move that file for my future clone. So for that, I'll go here, set the environment back to devdb and your Oracle home. That's a 19C Oracle home. Did I copy it Oracle home location here? Right here, it's Oracle home. Right, env grep capital Ora. Right. So go back to your Oracle home DBS location. Right now you can copy that file, whatever that init devdb, you can move it as a dummy P file that can be used for your future clones. Right. I moved it, whatever the dummy P file, I moved it as a gold copy. And now I'm going to shut down that whatever I restored my database, I'm going to shut it down. Right. I'm going to shut down my database. Right. If you want a log, you can scroll down. I have captured all the logs over here. So your pmon, it is running both the DevDB, TestDB is restored, and connect to the database and shut your database. You're going to shut down your database. After that, you can create your init file with all the RAC parameters. If you are having a 4 node, 3 node, 2 node rack, you have to put all the parameter devdb1, devdb2, your SGA, PGA, your control files, your audit files, your instance 1, instance 2, devdb instance 1, instance 2, your local listeners, and your threads. If it's a 2 node through 2 threads, your undo 1, undo 2, you have to create your P file with all the rack parameters. Right now your instance is down. I'm going to create this P file with the init devdb1. I'm going to create with the init devdb1 with all the parameters. So let's cancel this one. I'm going to copy all these parameters. I'm going to put it over there. This is your a final P file with all the rack parameters are added over here. So save this one. Right. So if I do cat one more time, it has all the parameters with the rack parameters enabled, like your undo tablespace 1, undo tablespace 2. It's a 2 node rack. If it's a 4 node rack, we have to add 4 undo tablespace, 4 redo thread 1, redo thread 2, 4 redo threads. Your HGA, PGA, local listener 1, 2, 3, 4, and your instance number 1, 2, 3. You have to put all those according to your rack database. Right. After that, I'm going to set the environment to devdb1 now. .inv devdb1 and your Oracle home. Right. env, verify that environment. Right. Your devdb1, set it to your target. And now you're going to run this startup no mount with that particular P file. Right. I'm going to connect with the SQL plus SHDBA. I'm going to mount my database using that RAC modified parameter file with this devdb instance 1. Run this one. Once your instances get started here, I'm going to create SP file into data devdb parameter file, SP file devdb1 devdb.ora from that particular init devdb1. So with this particular rack modified P file, I'm going to create a SP file. Right, SP file got created. And now I'm going to shut down my database. Right. Once your shutdown is done, now what I'll do, I am going to create my P file pointing to that SP file on node 1. Similarly, on node 2, I'll create my P file 2 pointing to SP file. Right, let's go ahead and do this one. Exit from here, create your user and app Oracle DB home 1, DBS location, init devdb1.ora, and which will be pointing to your SP file. This is my SP file. Cancel, Control C. Now we can cat this one. It will be having SP file pointing to that data disk group SP file.ora. Go to second node and cat the same thing and do the same thing. And here it would be devdb2.ora, SC Oracle, and here 2.ora. So your instance 2 again pointing to your SP file. Set that one, cancel. This is on node 2. Right now, if I do cat of that, right, it will be having devdb2 pointing to again SP file. Both the nodes, both the P file on node 1 and node 2 pointing to SP file, which is under common shared location data disk group. That's fair enough. Good. So after that, you're going to start with just a mount. You're going to start using that SP file because the local P file pointing to SP file. I'll go to node 1 again, SQL plus SDBA. I'll just do startup mount. It should start using that local P file and internally that local P file pointing to my SP file. And when I do show parameter SP file, it should show me SP file from that disk group location. Right, this is a command, show parameter SP file. Your instance is started here. Your database is mounted. If I do show parameter SP file, right, if you can see data devdb parameter sp file devdb.ora. That's fair enough, good enough. Both the local sp file pointing to, or both the local p file pointing to my sp file, which is under data disk group. Good enough. Now I'll shut it down my database. And once the database is shut down, I'm gonna add this particular devdb database to my cluster. srctl add database, your db name, db unique name, your Oracle home, and followed by your sp file location. Your shutdown option is immediate. Your disk groups are data and reco. Let's add your database to your clusterware. That if I do now without that, right? Let's see here. ps-ef grep smon. If I do dot .env, set it to plus asm and check it to my cluster side, and this is my cluster home. CRSCTL stat resource -t. I don't see the devdb database here. Your scan, your VIPs, your ASM net listener, ASM, your record disk group, your listener data disk group, and your listener. So there's nothing called devdb here. The moment I add this one, you can see it on the cluster side here. So I'm going to set it back to devdb1. Sorry, devdb1 instance 1. My Oracle home. Where is my Oracle home? My Oracle home is here. This is my Oracle home. Right now we can go ahead and then add that one using this command, srctl add command. You're gonna add it to your cluster. Going on, added. Now you can set back your ASM environment plus ASM1, and your ASM home is this one. And again run that CRSCTL stat resource -t. And now you can see here devdb got added here. It got added only one instance. We have not yet enabled that cluster instance 1, 2, 3. That we're going to do it now. But at least it got added to cluster now, right? With that command. devdb1, sorry, typo again. It should be capital devdb1. And my Oracle home is here. Copy your Oracle home. Right. Now I have added my database to cluster. I'm going to add the instances. devdb instance 1 on node 1, devdb instance 2 on node 2. Two instances I'm going to add it. Instance 1 and your instance 2. Right. Both instances got added. Now you can check your srctl config database. This will give me my Oracle home, the DB nickname, DB name, my SP file, and my instance 1, instance 2, node 1, node 2. All the configuration looks good. And now I'm going to do this srctl start status database and start database. Start database is going to fail. srctl devdb1, devdb2, both are not running on node 1 and node 2. Now if you try to do start, it's going to fail, saying that you do not have a redo logs on node 2. You have a redo log only on node 1 because you have only redo log thread 1 here. You had only thread 1 here. Thread 1, when you do a restore, it's gonna do use this thread 1 here. What about thread 2? Manually, you need to add this thread through the redo logs. What is that one? Let's see here. srctl start database. It is getting started and it's gonna complain that unable to start on node 2. Redo thread 2 is not enabled, cannot mount it on the second node. If I do srctl status database and node 1, devdb1 running on node 1 because thread 1 is already available on node 1. Thread 2, readlog 2 is not available. So for that, what I can do, go back to my blog again here. Same error message and connect back to your database on node 1 where your database is up and running already there, and select your data file names there. Fair enough, your all data files are going to your data disk group, and check your control files, one for data and one for echo, right? One for data and one for echo, fair enough. And check for your redo logs here. You have 6 redo logs, but all these 6 redo logs, one is a duplicate copy and one is a multiplex copy. One is a original, one is a multiplexed. One is a original, one is a multiplex. But all these 6 redo logs are belong to thread 1 or coming from your node 1 that you can validate using this vdollar log. If I run this one, I can see read log group 1, 2, 3. Each of them are having two read log files, 6 read log files, but all are pointing to thread 1, node 1. So I don't have any read log from thread 2. So my job is to add read logs in thread 2, like alter database, add log file, thread 2. I have 1, 2, 3, three groups. I'll go with the group 4, 5, 6, one on data and one on reco with a 200 MB in size. Read log 1, second read log group for thread 2, and third read log for group 6, and I'm going to enable that second thread. Done, enabled. So after that, I can validate my read log groups. Right, I can see thread 1 having 3 groups, again thread 2 also having 3 groups. Fair enough. My read log count is now become 12. 6 for thread 1 and 6 for thread 2. Right. After that, I can exit from here. I can do srctl start again. This time it's going to start my second instance. srctl start, it is starting your second instance. First instance anyway it started. I just run the same srctl start database. It'll ignore that instance 1 because it's already running. It'll start that second instance now. Right, it started. Check the status now. This time no errors because we added that second thread. Status. Your devdb1, devdb2 running on node 1, running on node 2. psif grep smon. You have your instance 1 running here, and on the node 2, psif grep smon. Instance 2 is running on node 2. So if I run this cluster where plus asm1 and set the cluster where environment crstl stat resource -t, and you can see your devdb online instance 1, instance 2 running on node 1 and node 2, which is in open mode. Fair enough, everything is running fine. Set back to your devdb devdb1 instance 1 and your oracle home. Is your oracle home. Let's copy that oracle home. Okay, your oracle home is here. SQL plus /s sysdba. Select name comma open underscore mode from $, database. So you have devdb, which is in read-write mode. If you check for your $, database, they're going to give you from both instances. Your instance 1, instance 2, both the way your database is up and running. And another way to check is select instance underscore name comma status from $, instance instance. So your devdb1, devdb2 running on both the status are open, and you have your host name as well. You can include that host name as well. So here instance name, instance number, and you have your host name. Host name here. Set pages lines, and you can run the same query. Select instance name status, comma. You can include that host name as well from $, instance. They're going to give you devdb1, devdb2, which is in open status, running on node 1 and node 2. Fair enough. That is how you can clone your standalone file system database to RAC cluster node, 2 node, 4 node, 5 node. You can do whatever you want. The methods are pretty much clear and steps are all explained over here. You have to go with this 4 method. Take a backup of your source database, which is on a file system. Either you can go with the method 1, method 2, restore, recover, or RMAN clone. Once you do restore, recover, so you can go with the post clone activities. Post steps are remain same whether you can go with the method 1 or method 2. All right, guys, that's it for today's. We'll see you on next session. Thank you.